Throughout human history, medicine has been built on observation, discovery, and sometimes the extraordinary. Once in a while, a single patient changes everything we know about the human body and capacity. Such people and their stories are rare, sometimes even tragic, but their impact reshapes science itself. Today, we explore the most extraordinary medical cases that changed the course of medical science. We look at real people whose bodies became mysteries and whose struggles advanced human understanding forever. 1. The woman who couldn't forget, Jill Price and hyperthymesia. In the year 2000, neuroscientists met a woman who could remember every day of her life. Not just key moments, but every breakfast, every song on the radio, every outfit she wore since childhood. Her name was Jill Price, the first documented case of hyperthymesia, also known as highly superior autobiographical memory. When scientists tested her, they found that she could recall any random date in perfect detail. Say March 3rd, 1985, and she would immediately describe what she ate, who she met, and what the weather was like. At first, researchers were skeptical. Perhaps she was simply gifted, but brain imaging showed something remarkable. Her amygdala and hippocampus, areas tied to emotion and memory, were unusually active and structurally distinct. Her case revolutionized how scientists understood memory. Until then, autobiographical memory was thought to fade over time. Jill proved it could be almost photographic. But it came with a cost. She described it as both a blessing and a burden. Her mind was a time machine she could never turn off, reliving both joy and pain endlessly. Today, fewer than 100 people worldwide are known to have hyperthymesia. Jill Price's extraordinary mind helped uncover new pathways in neuroscience, showing that memory is far more complex than we imagined. 2. The man who lived without a heart, Stan Larkin and the artificial heart. Meet Stan Larkin, a young man from Michigan who lived for more than a year, without a human heart beating in his chest. After suffering from a genetic heart disease, both of Stan's ventricles failed. Instead of dying, he was fitted with a Syncardia total artificial heart, a mechanical device that replaced his failing organ and kept blood flowing through his body, powered by a backpack-sized compressor. For 555 days, Stan lived, worked, and played basketball, carrying his mechanical heart wherever he went. Doctors at the University of Michigan used his case to refine portable artificial hearts, proving that patients could live long, full lives while awaiting transplants. His case changed modern cardiac medicine forever, showing that the boundaries between biology and engineering are fading fast. Stan Larkin's story is not just about survival. It's about how innovation, courage, and a human will to live can rewrite the limits of science itself. 3. The girl who felt no fear, SM and the broken amygdala. In the 1990s, scientists met a woman who had no concept of fear. She could walk through dark alleys at night, hold venomous snakes, and confront violent attackers, all without panic or hesitation. Her name remains private, known only as SM, and she suffers from a rare genetic disorder called Urbach-Wiethe disease that destroyed her amygdala, the brain's fear center. Researchers tested her reactions to horror films, haunted houses, and terrifying imagery, yet she never flinched. Her pulse stayed steady, her breathing calm. SM's case revealed for the first time that fear isn't just emotion, it's biology. Without the amygdala, the brain cannot interpret danger. Her condition revolutionized neuroscience's understanding of emotion. It helped psychiatrists better understand anxiety disorders, PTSD, and the neural roots of panic. Through SM, science learned that fear, though unpleasant, is one of evolution's greatest survival tools. She lives without it, but at great risk. She doesn't avoid danger, because her brain doesn't know what danger is. 4. The case of Phineas Gage, the man with the iron rod through his skull. On September 13, 1848, in Vermont, a railway worker named Phineas Gage was packing explosives when a premature blast drove a 3-foot iron rod straight through his skull. It entered below his cheek and exited through the top of his head, destroying part of his brain. Incredibly, he survived. Before the accident, Gage was known as intelligent, polite, and efficient. Afterward, everything changed. He became impulsive, rude, and unreliable. Doctors were stunned. The incident provided the first evidence that specific parts of the brain control personality and behavior. The damaged area, the frontal lobe, was revealed to govern emotion, judgment, and decision-making. Phineas Gage's case became a cornerstone of neuroscience. It led to the birth of modern psychology and brain surgery. One man's tragic accident became the foundation for understanding how mind and personality are rooted in the brain. 5. The patient who changed memory forever. Henry Molaison, patient HM. For decades, he was known only by his initials. HM, the most studied patient in medical history. Henry Molaison suffered severe epilepsy. In 1953, surgeons removed parts of his medial temporal lobes, including his hippocampus, hoping to cure him. The surgery worked, but it erased his ability to form new memories. From that day forward, Henry lived in a 30-second window of awareness. He could recall his childhood perfectly, but every new event vanished almost immediately. He met people, greeted them warmly, and forgot them minutes later. Yet, astonishingly, he could still learn new motor skills, like drawing a star in a mirror, without remembering he had done it before. This revealed that different types of memory exist in different brain systems. HM's case changed neuroscience forever. It taught us that memory is not a single process, but a network of systems, each with its own purpose. Every student of psychology today learns his story. The man who lost his memory but gave the world a map of the mind. 6. The woman who saw the world. Upside down, the case of inverted vision. In the 1890s, psychologist George Stratton conducted a bizarre experiment on himself. He wore special lenses that inverted his vision, making the world appear upside down. For days, he stumbled and disoriented, but after a week, something miraculous happened. His brain adapted. The world began to look normal again. When he removed the glasses, reality itself felt inverted. This strange experiment, later replicated with modern technology, revealed the brain's extraordinary neuroplasticity, its ability to rewire itself to interpret new realities. Today, this principle powers rehabilitation after strokes, prosthetics, and even virtual reality therapy. A rare, self-inflicted medical case from a century ago became the foundation for our understanding of how flexible and resilient the human brain truly is. 7. The boy who was allergic to water. Aquagenic urticaria. For most of us, water is life, but for a few, it's pain. Aquagenic urticaria is one of the rarest conditions in the world, with fewer than 100 known cases. When water touches the skin, it triggers a painful allergic reaction. Red welts, burning, and hives. Even sweat and tears can cause agony. Doctors still don't fully understand why it happens. It's not a typical allergy. Water itself isn't the trigger. Scientists suspect it interacts with natural proteins in the skin, releasing histamines abnormally. Though incurable, treatments like antihistamines and UV therapy offer partial relief. These rare patients live carefully, timing showers and avoiding rain. Every drop a potential hazard. Their condition challenges our basic assumptions about biology, proving that even the most fundamental element of life can turn against us. 8. The tree man of Indonesia. Epidermodysplasia verruciformis. In a remote village in Indonesia, doctors met a man whose hands and feet had transformed into bark-like growths. He became known as the tree man. His name was Didi Kuswara, and his condition, epidermodysplasia verruciformis, was caused by an extremely rare genetic defect that allowed human papillomavirus, HPV, to grow uncontrollably on his skin. The virus produced massive warts resembling roots and branches, covering his limbs completely. Over his lifetime, Didi underwent dozens of surgeries, but the growths always returned. His case taught scientists vital lessons about immunity, showing how a single genetic mutation can destroy the body's ability to defend against viruses. Though Didi passed away in 2016, his contribution to medicine endures. His life opened a new frontier in genetic immunology, helping researchers better understand how viruses and our DNA interact. 9. The girl who couldn't feel sleep. Fatal familial insomnia. Sleep, the one thing every human must have. Yet there exists a rare genetic curse that makes sleep impossible. Fatal familial insomnia, or FFI, is one of the rarest and most devastating prion diseases known. Caused by a mutation in the PRNP gene, it attacks the thalamus, the brain's sleep control center. Once symptoms begin, patients lose the ability to fall asleep. Ever. Weeks pass, hallucinations appear, followed by dementia and death within months. Only a few dozen families in the world carry this mutation. There is no cure. But their cases have revealed how sleep regulates not just rest, but immunity, memory, and even sanity. Studying this nightmare disease led scientists to discover prions, misfolded proteins that can cause fatal brain disorders like mad cow disease and Creutzfeldt-Jakob. From tragedy came knowledge that reshaped neurology forever. How do these rare cases reshape science? From the man who lost his memory to the woman who lost her fear, from a heart made of metal to a brain that rewired reality. These rare cases remind us that progress often begins at the edge of the impossible. Each story is a reminder that science doesn't just happen in laboratories. It begins with people. Real lives. Real suffering. Real resilience. In medicine, rarity is not obscurity. It's revelation. Every anomaly, every exception pushes us closer to understanding the universal rules of life. Without them, we might never have discovered memory centers, immune pathways, or how the brain perceives fear and time. Rare medical cases are stories of both suffering and salvation. They show us that the body, though fragile, is endlessly complex and that even the rarest among us can teach lessons for millions. So the next time you hear of a strange case in the news, remember, somewhere in that mystery may lie the next great discovery. Which of these medical cases fascinated you the most? Share your thoughts below, and subscribe to the Extremes of Reality for more journeys into the rare, the common, and the abundant.